Good morning, everyone. I hope you are doing well here this morning. It is Tuesday, November 1st. Can you believe that it is November already? All right, we're walking into November. We closed out. We take a look at monthly candles, something that we do here in the room. We take a look at monthly candles. This was last month. This is October. We had talked about over the last couple weeks that this 50-period moving average on the monthly is a very good indicator and of support, right? It was back here in 2011, the last time we sliced through it here, stayed below it for 1 month, and then came right back in and shot back up above it. So we pulled ourselves back into this 50, and we have moved up. Yesterday, we pushed ourselves up above even the 34 there on the monthly, and this starts November. Well, now we wait and see, what does this candle look like? Obviously, really early here in the month because it's just the first month or first day of the month. All right, here's the weekly, right? So kind of giving us a picture. Important to note, we are still in a downtrend, right? We have not broken this downtrend. But what we are starting to see in the markets is that we aren't selling every rally at the moment.
NTES, Nettie.
That could certainly change at any time. But as of right now, we aren't selling all of the rallies like we had seen on the intraday previously. So we are seeing now those big push down and then the slow climb up. Whereas before we would see the big push up and then all of a sudden it would just melt away. So we're kind of seeing a different picture here. And I think until we hear from the Fed and then get that job report at the end of the month, I think we're just going to stay a little bit optimistic that the Fed will pause. And that's really what the market's looking for, is a pause or some softening of the language. Although, sorry, I have a dog behind me and I just know he's about to do something he's not supposed to. Jack, what are you doing? Can you come up here, please? Come on, over here. Oh, goodness, come on. Oh, good. All right, I have too many dogs. Actually, that's not true. I never have too many dogs. Okay, anyway, what we're looking for, I think we'll still get the 75 basis point hike, but what they might do is a little bit of the softening of what might come after that. I think that is what we're going to be watching for in that Fed language and the statement. And then, of course, he'll have the presser, the decision comes out at 2 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow, and then immediately following at 2:30 we have the questions and answers. So I think that we are just waiting on all of that language and see if he follows suit with some of the other central banks. Okay, here we are. This is the weekly. You can see we closed last week just above the 20. We're using it nicely here, little tail, and we're breaking this more short-term downtrend as of right now. And if we look at the daily, love this look here. Okay, look at this big energy candle that we had here on Friday. Although the volume wasn't as high as I would have liked to have seen, some pretty good volume. Took a pause, and now we're pushing up. But what does this look like on the SPY? So a little bit different. That was the futures chart. Here we go. This is the SPY. You can see on the SPY during the day, we actually had some pretty decent energy on Friday. Yesterday, we ended with not quite a doji, but sitting right below the weekly open price. That's kind of our bull bear line. And then today you'll see we're pushing up like that. Push, pause, and then another push. That's what we're watching. I didn't put out any specific charts because you can pretty much throw a dart here this morning and hit something that's moving. Uber had their earnings, tons of earnings today. Oh my goodness, there's so many earnings. This week is the biggest week for earnings in the S&P 500. So keep that in mind. Uber reported this morning and it's looking uber-tastic. After a push down into those earnings, we are way up here above the 200 right now at 29.69. So a lot of good earnings out there that we can play off of. I am in Apple. I am in half of CRM. I'm in JPM and OXY. And I like all of those, and I'll work my way out of those positions and start some new ones is what I will be looking to do here today. probably just day trades, and I'll stick to those that are moving really well. Still very much like energy. Here's energy. We took a little bit of a pause, but our trend is still up. We have a nice support of moving averages right here. You can see them all clustered together, and we're working our way back up above those here this morning. Bitcoin deciding to play here today as well. You can see, interesting, we had a few nice days push up, and now we're just kind of pausing, but on lower volume. That to me looks very bullish in Bitcoin. So you can look at names like Mara and Riot and Coin and things like that. We are not seeing a lot of strength in gold, although we get these days, these really just kind of turn out to be big bear flags, is what they look like to me. So, I don't know why that got stuck there. Hold on. Right, so definitely still downtrending. I don't see, until we make our way up above all of these big moving averages, I am not a buyer of anything in the gold or precious metal. Maybe day trades, but for the most part, I've stayed away from those. All right, so that's kind of it for me this morning. Like I said, throw a dart and you'll find something that's green. Make sure to have a really good system in place, whether you enter on a moving average crossover or just moving through a moving average, or maybe use that opening range. The 30-minute opening range has actually been a much better opening range to use, because we get a move in one direction and then pull the other way, and then we continue the trend. That has been the trend as of late, so maybe waiting for that first 30 minutes to get out of the way is a good idea. But make sure you have your stops in, right? Make sure you have that line in the sand where you're going to get out, no matter, that's you're in or you're out, right? So make sure you have that line in the sand, whether you're using like a previous candle or maybe pushing back through that moving average. Make sure you stick to your stops, because we've had some pretty volatile moves. I expect today might be a bit choppy going into tomorrow, as everybody still is battling and for airwaves and what's going to happen. So when we could just wait till tomorrow, and there you go. All right, everyone, I hope you have a fantastic day, and I will hope to see you in the chat room.